I guess it's on.
Say what I had to say.
I was surprised that he was the guy.
I was excited.
All right.
Greg, you said earlier this week you thought the practices were a little bit more spirited from the guys and, that they were giving the energy that you wanted. What does it say about your team that they're able to have that resolve to respond to a Friday loss like you guys had in this game?
Yeah, so it was always going to be about the bounce back, right? How do we come back from, a demoralizing defeat? And, we knew right away that the guys were different this week. The pride was hurt. But it was more than that. I think it was focus, and it was intensity in the training sessions. And what you saw today, it wasn't perfect, but what it was guys competing, and there was some. And by the way, in the course of it was pretty good soccer at times. So I'm proud of the guys. I think we deserved the victory, and we got it. So it was good.
Talking about bounce back.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was a lot of talk this week about Justin coming out early and the tactics and whatnot, but for him to come out and have the game he had tonight, is that kind of a bounce back performance from him as well?
Yeah, it is. I think he's an important part of our group. He's an important part of what we do. We believe in him 100%. And for this team to be successful, Justin Merrim has to be successful. And, the success of Justin is closely tied to team success. You see when we play well and win, he plays well. And so, we're looking for something from him today, and he brought some special qualities at key moments.
And he's already set his career high in goals this early in the season. I mean, we've talked about his success this year, but just kind of, is this the best you've seen him play in your?
One of the things we challenged Justin with in the offseason was scoring more goals. We thought he got into very good situations last year. We didn't think he converted enough. And the emphasis was on, how do we get you scoring more goals, taking more chances. And, this year he's done that. And I think he still has a ways to go. This year he's not finished, and I hope to see more good things from him.
You said earlier in the week that you thought you'd see some changes, and obviously there were changes in the lineup with Josh Williams, Hector, and then Raytala along the back line. What were the goals with those changes? Were something you saw coming with Seattle, or was it performance in training, or something you learned out of the Toronto game? And also, Nico Ness wasn't in the 18.
Yeah. So, I've spoken to you guys before about the 18 and how difficult it is to choose 18 guys for a game day roster. And if guys are left off the 18, it doesn't necessarily mean their standing has changed significantly within the team. And Nico's a perfect example of that. We're not hiding the fact that we weren't happy with the performance on Friday. We weren't happy with his performance also. But him not being in the 18 was more of a reflection of what we're trying to do on this game. Rather than where he stands with the team.
Did you see what you wanted out of the substitutes, the people that you did?
I did. We made 5 changes from last starting lineup, and one thing this group has done well is the next man stepping up, and we've done that a number of times this season where we've played different lineups and different personnel, and I think the guys have done a good job of stepping up when their number's called.
You talk about the compete level. Jimenez's play to kind of get that first goal going. He intercepts the ball and then goes after what I would call like a 50-50 ball where their other guys come to set up that play.
Yeah. Hector's a guy that when he plays on the limit is an excellent player in this league, and that's something we've been encouraging to do is be aggressive. His passing I thought was outstanding in the first half. His competing was outstanding, and a play like that, you get a goal out of virtually nothing with a guy just competing, and it was great to see from Hector. I think he played a great game.
I think this is the 10th backline combination you guys have used. What does that say just about, guys maybe on short notice or with limited experience together being able to play together for you guys?
Yeah, so part of that's on me. in terms of mixing it up. I think, the back line does want continuity. I think back lines that play together more often perform better. So part of that is on us and what we've been doing. We've had a congested schedule at times. We've had injuries at times. We had suspensions at times. So it forced us to alter that back four. And I think we're still looking for what I would call, the A formation. We haven't found that yet. But in the meantime, guys have done a good job of stepping up when called upon. And I'll single out a guy like Josh Williams where, we haven't given up a goal with him on the field yet this year. And he, he was brought in for a reason, and he's doing exactly that. So, I'm really happy with how that turned out and with his attitude and effort.
Greg, when I talked to you at halftime, you said you guys wanted to keep pushing for a third goal,
Yeah.
fourth goal. What did you think of your team's ability to keep that momentum in the second half, not let up, not let Seattle attack that much?
I thought it was good. Having said that, I thought there were more goals for us in this game. I don't know how you guys felt from the outside, but I think if we were more aggressive, more clinical, we could have opened them up a number of times. And but having said that, we do have another game on Saturday, and some of this is about getting guys, conserving a little bit of energy so they can prepare for Saturday.
Zach Steffen had another great game. Wasn't asked to do a whole lot in the first half, but in the second half made some really great saves. What did you think about his performance and just sort of a total view of how he's done on the year for someone that's his first time in MLS?
He's having, I think, a typical first year in the MLS as a goalkeeper. I would say better than that, slightly better than that in terms of, there's some games where, you're not sure of the goal that went in. But by and large, he's come up big a number of times. And what I really like about Zach is his calmness. He stays collected, he stays poised. And for a young goalie to be that poised and calm is quite remarkable. And I think today he was good. But more importantly, that he's a calming influence on the group.
Greg, you obviously had some disappointing results last year. After the game in Toronto the other day, was that some different than some of the games that you saw last year, as far as maybe your disappointment in the team, and how did you kind of convey it, if it was any different than some of those losses and ties last year?
Well, I think we were calm. I think, Andrew was in Toronto, but he'll tell you I was pretty calm after the game. And I think what it was the fact that we put them out of their comfort zone with how we were going to play in that game against, one of the best team in the MLS at the time. And we knew there were going to be potential repercussions of that. And so we wanted to analyze it. We weren't happy with the result. We thought we let up goals way too easily. And at the end, when they're up, they're down a man, to give up 2 goals is unacceptable. And I think that's the part that we analyzed. And, throughout the course of the season, you have games like that, and the goal is to minimize the amount of games you have.
You mentioned potentially leaving some goals out there, but to have your 3 top offensive threats all find score sheet tonight, is that kind of a boost as you move into Colorado and beyond?
Absolutely, and I think also the way the goals were scored, some good shooting, precision finishing. You need the quality guys to finish those chances. It goes a long way.
So you're coming in towards the halfway of the season. You take a one game at a time look, but now that you're coming into the halfway, do you see the team where you want to see them, or where do you see the improvements in this team?
The way I'd look at it, and I think we talked about this before, is this first part of the season has given the coaching staff an opportunity to see a number of different players in a number of different positions. We've used a number of formations, and it's helpful. And that will go a long way in the course of the season. What I can tell you about this group is their attitude is fantastic, their work rate is fantastic, and their willingness to learn and to try to apply some of these tactical ideas is great. So we're more than happy with where we are right now.
A couple of milestones for people tonight. The 40-40 club for goals and assists, and moved up to 3rd all-time in goals. What did you think of his performance tonight, and maybe what do you think of his place among the club's history?
I think he was great tonight. I think he had an excellent game. The way he was controlling the tempo of the game, but still being dangerous, still making telling passes. I thought there was a great balance between keeping possession and trying risky passes. You think that one ball he gave to Ola in the second half, the longer ball from the left side of the field. I mean, that's a ball you guys should watch again on video. Not many people in the league can hit that pass. And I thought that was great. But when you look at, as a coach, what you want from your designated players is for them to have extra quality, and he has that. And some things you hope for is that they have the work rate and the attitude as team players. You don't always know that you're going to get that. And with him, that's what amazes me the most about him is his work rate, his team mentality, his team first mentality. I think is exceptional. And as far as I'm concerned, he would go down as one of the better players, if not the best that ever played for the Crew, with another Argentine.
Greg,
And a forward and maybe a defender.
Greg, you talked about the guys keeping focus tonight and having to have a quick switch to Colorado on Saturday, conserving some energy. How do you prepare for that quick turnaround, keep that focus?
Nutrition, sleep, training, light training, massage, and then we go. The schedule is what it is. It's not ideal, but there's no problem. We turn around, we go to Denver on Friday night, minimize the time at altitude, and get there and try to win a game.
What is the most difficult thing about playing at Dick's Sporting Goods Park? Is it the altitude?
I think that's mental. There's certainly some component to it, but I truly believe that a lot of it is in the head. There's a point that you need to push through, and you get fatigued, and your mouth is dry, and you get dehydrated, but you can push through that.
We saw Artur come out about a minute late for the second half. Was he just getting his wrists rewrapped?
He was on Brazilian time.
You look pretty surprised.
No, he was actually sick at halftime, if you can believe that. Yeah, and we weren't sure if he was going to come out, but he was adamant that he was coming out to play.